Los Angeles in the late 60s, early 70s was changing.
We were going through the Vietnam War. There was lots of protesting.
The anti-war movement, the Great Boycott, and all kinds of things.
And it was also a period of service to the community. It goes back to John F. Kennedy's inaugural speech.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Out of that came the Peace Corps, the Civil Rights Movement, and legal services.
Bet Tzedek is a nonprofit legal services organization that provides free help to low-income individuals across LA County. We have served about 1 million individuals and families, providing legal assistance from direct representation to impact litigation and policy advocacy work. Stan Levy and Luis Leiner are two of our founders, and they're an integral part of Bet Tzedek.
At the time, there was one area of Los Angeles which did not have a legal services program, and that was in the Beverly Fairfax area.
There were a lot of people here who needed some help. Many of those people were elderly. A lot of them didn't speak English, and you could just by looking around, you could see that something wasn't right.
In 1970, the census had shown that there were Jewish people that were living below poverty. And it sort of startled the group that this was a fact. And we wanted to find out how could we help. And since most of everybody we were talking about were attorneys, we felt that we should try to deal with their legal problems.
The whole concept of pro bono legal services wasn't really out there yet. And I think to a certain extent, we were at the forefront of that. The mission was to help people who don't have the wherewithal to go to Century City and get a 24th floor attorney, nothing against the 24th floor lawyers, to help them. Real simple.
We didn't know what we were doing at the time when we started this. And our hopes were that we would get to something. I don't think we had any idea that we would attain these levels.
It was an incredible grassroots effort. We put in a lot of hours. We finally got an office on Fairfax.
Everybody paid $5 a month for the rent and the phones, and that's what we did.
Here we were, a dozen or so lawyers sitting there in a storefront that looked like something out of one of those 1970s shows about the eager lawyers out to change the world, waiting for somebody to walk through the door and needed help. And somebody did.
We had a whole bunch of cases and right away began to be successful.
So all of a sudden, more people are contacting us. And then Louis became the full-time director.
Louis was relentless and banging on doors and just cajoling people into contributing. We were creative in that way, figuring out how to go and get those funds and how to make this project just grow and grow and grow.
From the very beginning, we had a very strong policy to represent everybody in Los Angeles, regardless of race, creed, color, it didn't matter.
I remember some people would say, well, you know, I'm not Jewish, but I have a problem. You got a problem, we're here.
I grew up Catholic. It wasn't until coming to Bet Tzedek that I started to become more and more aware of a deeper reason as to why we are engaged in this work. It is not just about being in legal aid, but it is about that pursuit of justice being ingrained in us.
Tzedek, tzedek tirdov, justice, justice shall you pursue. That message spread.
There is a feeling that we have to do good things to make the world better. And this is, okay, here's a chance to make the world better right in our backyard.
People want to help. And that's the humanity of man.
Today, our organization, our staff is very diverse. And I think one of the reasons why is, in fact, because of this concept in Judaism of not turning away a stranger from a strange land. For many of our staff, that is fundamental to the way that they want to practice the law.
The first time I walked into the current offices on Wilshire Boulevard and looking at this place and all these employees and all these volunteers and thinking it's an honor and a privilege to just be part of it all.
In the first year, we probably served a couple hundred people. We have now served 1 million people in the 50 years of our existence. It is amazing that we have, done that.
That's where it just gets mind-blowing. We've served 1 million clients, and it was a dozen or so people around the table.
If my jaw could drop, it would. If my mind could blow up like a cartoon, it would.
We've helped maybe 1 million people over all these years. It's mind-boggling.
Anything else, guys?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. What's going on?
I don't usually think about these things, but yeah.
It's incredibly humbling to think about the legacy and the work that the founders did in establishing Bet Tzedek. We are working hard every day to make them proud by making sure that we are providing access to justice to those most in need.
It has been absolutely phenomenal to watch the leadership of the organization expand the vision. Garment workers, hotel workers, home health workers, all of the invisible population who have never really had a voice until now.
It may take on a different complexion. You may have a different clientele. And this is something that's really important and critical.
I mean, it has really taken one of the things we talked about at the very beginning and weren't sure we'd ever be able to accomplish, of being of service to the entire community and making a difference for the entire community. And it's all due to this group of nutty lawyers who thought they could do something 50 years ago. And look what we did. We did it.